So today we are doing a couple things. We are breeding Ginger, and we are checking her mama, Beyonce, because Beyonce is possibly getting bred tomorrow, which is kind of funny. Ginger could be having a sibling and a baby like at the same time next year. Might be fun. Hi. See, okay, so here's the thing, and you might be asking, like, oh my gosh, this is so early. She just had her baby. So she's on her foal heat right now, meaning all mares within like 7 to 14 days after they have their baby, they start coming back into heat. We don't always breed on the foal heat. Sometimes if a mama has like a traumatic birth, or she tears, or she's just not, like if literally anything went wrong, we do not breed on the foal heat. And you can't breed on a foal heat when you're doing embryo transfer. But Ginger had like the perfect birth, has been super healthy. Everything's been super easy for her, and vet checked, no reason not to breed her on her foal heat, and she'll have one 11 months from now if she takes. So let's get her out. We actually have to sedate her a little bit. We have to sedate you. You're too wiggly. You'll learn. You'll get used to the broodmare life.
He's so fine coated in his, look at his chest.
No, he's a nice little baby.
Yeah.
And I watched him last night for the first time, really like his movement, and he's very cool. Like he's very floaty, like very springy in his canter and stuff. Like I really like it. It's not your typical just like straight-legged pleasure horse. And that comes a little bit from, so a lot of my sire's babies are like that. They're very all-aroundy because he has a lot that go to do the hunt seat too. So they've got that loft.
Yeah. I mean, you look at his neck and you look at the muscle definition in his chest.
Don't tell Lee. Don't tell Lee. He looks just like his granddad and not like his dad. Abigail's on the baby duty. Look at us. He's a good one to learn with. He's a sweet boy. I'm hoping that biopsy for Gracie comes in before we need her again. Hi.
It went out, I believe, today. I took it last night when I got back in. So we'll
Is that
see.
different than a culture?
Yeah, so you actually take a long instrument into her uterus and take a little bite out of the uterine wall. And
But she did not like that.
she didn't actually. She was a little sedated, but she didn't mind. It was, I mean, it looks very uncomfortable. Yes.
Yep. That's what we did with Ginger. Ginger was the second of our Code Red Beyonce babies. She was like, we liked Stevie so much, we went for a Ginger, and then Ginger came out looking nothing like Stevie, but we like it anyway. Yep. That's what we did with Ginger. Ginger was the second of our Code Red Beyonce babies. She was like, we liked Stevie so much, we went for a Ginger, and then Ginger came out looking nothing like Stevie, but we like it anyway. Ginger is being bred to Cool Breeze, who is Freddie's dad. I wouldn't mind a little copy and paste, honestly. So Ginger is on what's called her foal heat. All mares, after they have a baby, about a week to 2 weeks after having the baby, they will come back into heat. Now, we don't always breed on foal heats, but when they have as easy of labor, easy of a time as Ginger did, nothing went wrong in her labor and whatnot, and the aftercare, it doesn't, hurt them to go ahead and rebreed them. What's some stuff that would classify a mare like, you'd be like, I wouldn't breed her on her full heat? Like, what's, like, if she tore or?
Anything that's abnormal. So if she retained her placenta, that causes inflammation and slows down the period of time the uterus shrinks back up to normal size. It lengthens that time. So retained placenta would be one. Tough time having the baby. If she had a dystocia and she was bruised and sore, and there was a lot of inflammation from the delivery. And then also, so their full heat happens like at day probably 5 to 12. And really you need about a week to 7-8 days for that uterus to get back to normal size. So if they have one of those early ovulations, you just skip it.
Yeah. She seemed to hold out. She was on like...
Oh, she's at the end. She's
Yeah.
like at day 13 or 14.
Yeah, because he turns 2 weeks tomorrow, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe today.
So that's
So-
more favorable.
Yeah. So it just kind of worked out perfect for Ginger.
Assuming she still has her follicle.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Let me see it. Hold on. Oh, yeah. She's still got that follicle, and it's nice and big. 3.8?
38, yeah.
So it's a 3.8 centimeter. She got good edema?
Yeah, I'll look at it again. Did she get her shot yesterday?
She did.
Okay. Thanks, Abigail.
Actually, that was...
Yeah, she's got really good edema.
Good. She's got really good edema. She's got a good follicle. We got the semen. We are ready, girlfriend. So this would put her, if she takes today, if we breed her and she takes, this would put her having a very early February due date. And if she does like she did this year and has it at 220 or 325, 2 weeks early, then she would be having it like mid-January. So now what are your thoughts on just like, I guess not deep horning every single one of them, but like.
So on her, on the full heat mares, I like to use a deep horning pipette.
So it goes deep.
Well, because their uterus is a little bit bigger than it is when they're not on full heat, and they have a lot more folds. So the traditional pipette's a little more rigid, and it gets hung up on the folds as you go in. And if you use one of those deep horn pipettes, it has a softer tip, and it'll kind of bounce off those folds and get deeper into the uterus. And that's what I use.
He's like, excuse me, I've been real patient, and I'm not anymore.
It's hard to do an actual deep horn on a
Full heat
mare because her uterus is bigger, so you can't like get your hand around the horn and manipulate it, but you can use those pipettes.
Now last year she gave us twins, so like let's not this year, Ginger. It doesn't look like you got 2 follicles, so let's hope not. What day do you have to reduce twins? I forgot.
Day 16 or earlier, post ovulation.
Okay, so you want to check decently early so that you get it in time if you can.
Right. Once they get too big, you can't eliminate one of them.
You got a big booty. It's all cheeked up. Hold him so I can go be petting on him and stuff, but kind of hold your hand on his butt. Whoa, Gingy. All right, so we're putting the pipette in.
Here, you want to pull that?
Hold on, Gingy. And don't spill any of it. There it went. And she's bred. Do you want me to pull back some air?
Yeah, I got some air. I'm just pushing the rest that's in that pipette in there. All right, if you'll hold that.
Just hold on this end. Not on the other end.
It's a good dose of semen.
Here, baby. You got it. You got it. Good job. All right, Miss Gingy. We will be checking on you in about 13 days. You want a little sister this time, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, let's check her. We'll check her again tomorrow and make sure she's ovulated.
Right, because you're going to come possibly for Beyonce tomorrow, so make it all one. Come on. Okay. Now, don't let her go.
Hey.
Nate, will you close that door?
What's that?
Okay, so we're gonna check her tomorrow for ovulation. We are going to check her mama right now to see if her mama's ready to breed tomorrow. And then in a couple weeks, we will be checking her to see if she took. Now, I think either tomorrow or Friday, we are gonna check Earlene to see if she has a heartbeat on her confirmed pregnancy. So lots going on with the breeding this week. Stop that. You are supposed to be like the good one. You're supposed to be the one that doesn't cause issues, and you are throwing a hissy fit over your dang dinner. Good Lord, okay. Now we're behaving. So your daughter just got bred, so you're gonna have some, well, she's not gonna carry it, but one of your babies is gonna be born possibly with your grandbaby. So that's kind of neat. VS Code Red merch available in my merch store. You know, she used to be so well-mannered, and then she got cocky, and then she's like, oh, you want my babies? You're doing embryo transfers with me, huh? I don't have to carry babies. I get to eat all I want. I get to do what I want. And now she's just a diva to work with.
You see that edema right there? It's really good edema in the right. That's the right horn. We'll go down the left.
So we're checking her through ultrasound right now, looking for her follicles. She's got really good edema. She's in really good heat. The semen will be here tomorrow. Today's Wednesday.
It's our left ovary.
Is that the one that we had?
That's what we ordered on.
Yeah. Is it going
really,
smaller?
Well, it didn't look like it's progressed that much.
Well, I mean, I could get counter to counter Friday too if she.
That's her left horn right there. And she's in great heat. We'll measure it.
So it doesn't look like she got that much bigger than yesterday or whenever we checked her last.
Still just a 3.
It's a 3. I believe she ovulated on a 3 the last time though.
Well, she's in heat.
Yeah.
And that's a nice follicle. It's just not. I mean, ideally, when we give her a shot to induce ovulation,
She went up half a centimeter.
35.
She was 2.5.
Is that what she was last time we checked her?
So she did go up. Just not
On what day we checked? Tuesday or Monday?
Monday. So over 2 days.
So what we could do is, I mean, we have semen coming tomorrow.
Right. Breed her tomorrow, and then if she holds out, I could get another shipment.
Yeah. I mean, a four is ideal.
Right.
3.5 to a 4. I hate to put the semen in her tomorrow. I mean, I think the ideal day would be the rate she's progressing is Friday.
Okay.
Counter to counter. But we could push her with the shot and breed her tomorrow and see if she ovulates.
My worry is that this is what we did last time, and she was already done by the time we got to her by Friday.
So go ahead and use the dose
I'm kind of thinking so. I just don't want to miss it.
and go ahead and give her the shot today.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
I'm just thinking, if she
She
hadn't
was
already done
in
that
heat.
to us,
She was in heat. I mean, she was already showing signs of heat on Monday too.
Right.
So she's had a heat cycle.
Right.
She's not just coming in.
right.
She's just being kind of slow on the.
I'm just
growth.
worried if we don't, she's gonna go.
Let's do it.
Okay. So y'all heard us talking about it over there. Like potentially you want them to be more like a 3.54, 4.5, but with already knowing what Beyonce did earlier this season, it makes me nervous waiting until Friday to breed her because she already has made us lose a cycle by ovulating before we bred her. So, you know, in the past, she's been a very consistent breeder, and she did progress from Monday till now. So I'm hoping that she will progress by tomorrow and be a 3.5 by tomorrow. And a lot of the times they do progress like 0.5 per day. So, you know, there's nothing saying she won't. So I think we're gonna go with our original plan and breed her tomorrow and then just kind of go from there, honestly.
5 p.m.
What time, late tonight?
Just 5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this refrigerated?
Yes. Who is that?
That's Ethel. We're gonna check her.
Okay.
Will you put her in the cross ties? Thank you.
She needs sedation or no?
No.
Okay.
Is that like diarrhea?
Just loose. Maybe 'cause
Did she spray you?
Yep.
Love that. When I was helping Happy have her baby, there's video evidence of it. I got all kinds of juices in my mouth, all over my new shirt, projectile on my face. It was lovely. So we're checking Ethel. As of Monday, she was like a day behind Beyonce, which is good, or 2 days behind Beyonce. So we're seeing if she's caught up. Look at there. She might actually be ahead at this point.
She looks good. Let's measure that.
If she's a day behind, meaning like a 2.5 or a 3, she's okay. And she's right at a 3. So we're still in the realm of using Ethel for Beyonce.
She's matching up really nice.
I would prefer if, I don't know, I'm torn if I need to find a recip quickly for Trudy, which I have like a month because we can't do her on her full heat. But like if you think I don't have a mare that works for Trudy, I need to like get on it and finding somebody.
Well, if we use, she's the only one so far.
You think she's the only one you would do?
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't mind doing 2 Beyonce babies this year, which mean we had plans of doing, cool and stuff. And so now it's like, okay, well, we have the opportunity maybe to do a couple more Trudies because we have Happy, Ethel, and I don't mind giving Gracie a year off if she doesn't work out and we have too many others. Like, I don't mind giving her a year off. She's been through it, and then Maggie, who's the thoroughbred over here. So I don't really she's probably the biggest bodied one we have at this point. So I might have to get on trying to, yep, she's good. Do we need to check Annie? I don't even remember she had that irregular follicle and then we couldn't even breed her because so we just let her come out of heat.
Because they couldn't get semen.
She was in flaming heat last week, so we probably don't even need to check her until
end of this week.
Yeah, okay. So at this point, I would actually prefer if Maggie is the best one to use for Beyonce because Ethel's like the only one that we're kind of like, okay, we could use for Trudy. And so at that point, it's like, okay, well, but I might, now that I have a lot more recips, I was going to have to buy a different recip to put the Goody Goody Gumdrops embryo in. And now I might have one. So it's like, I wouldn't have to get another one. I could get a big one for Trudy. Well, sorry, I'm just spewing out loud. Okay, question. Just thought about this. So I'm buying another embryo of that beefcake baby, her mama, and I'm breeding it to my stud. And I was going to have them, it's an ICSI thing. So I was going to have them send it or just put it in a recip, and then I was going to get the recip confirmed there and then ship her here. Well, now that I have all these recips and I probably don't have enough embryos to put in them, how hard is that?
Not hard.
Not hard?
Yeah, they send it, some places send it thawed out and ready to be put in there, and some places send it frozen, and we have to thaw them.
So what we probably need to do for like Happy, because she's smaller and it's a smaller baby, for like Happy or whoever, we probably just time her up and then tell them when to send it because it's going to be ICSI, so it's going to be already done.
Where is it?
It's in Texas.
Yeah, it's at Equi-Embryo or a different place?
I wish I could remember right now where it is at.
I would just ask them if they send it thawed out or if they send it frozen.
Okay.
Because if they send it thawed out, then the mare has to be ready to go.
Right, okay. But if they send it frozen, then we just kind of have it on hand for when Happy's ready, and then
we put it in the tank and we use it when we need it.
Okay.
When it's ideal time.
So ideal is frozen.
Well, it depends on who you ask.
Okay.
Some people prefer they do the thawing process because they have a certain way they thaw it.
What do you prefer?
To do it the way they recommend.
Okay.
Whichever way that is.
Okay. Did you get all that? She's so good.
She's an outlier for a thoroughbred.
For recent mares as a whole.
It's just like, her baby's over there hollering. She's just like, I'm going to sit here really quiet, really still, and you can stick my arm in my butt. And when we're done, I'll go back and see my baby.
She is a good girl. So for her to be perfect, she would be in really good heat and have a 2.5 centimeter.
2.75.
2.75.
And I'm looking at her uterus. And she doesn't have very good edema. Got a little shadow across my probe. Get repositioned. All right, we're good. Her left ovary is missing in action. There's her right ovary. She may have, that's a little hemorrhagic follicle. She may have hemorrhaged. There's a black follicle that's about 2 centimeters on the top, and then to the left, there's that hemorrhagic structure that's on the right.
So what does that usually indicate?
Instead of having a normal ovulation, she had a hemorrhagic ovulation,
Is that
and she doesn't have any edema right now.
okay? So she just like fell out of heat.
Yeah, or went through it, and instead of having a normal ovulation, she hemorrhaged.
Okay, so it's a
has
good thing
no
we had
edema.
Ethel,
Yeah.
because Ethel's up.
Yeah.
Ethel's on the roster.
Maggie's out.
Maggie's out. This is why having multiple recips is like chef's kiss. Because then when they do that, you're not screwed. Question. So, you know, we're kind of getting to the point where we don't have cool this year, okay? So that was like, it threw me for a zinger. I'm not going to have these embryos to put in these mares that I thought I was going to. So for Happy and for Maggie, and, you know, we have that one that we could have shipped here, and we could do another Beyonce baby. But also, I really like Ginger's baby. So would Happy being, no, that wouldn't work. I don't think we'd have one that would work for Ginger, to do 2 Ginger babies.
Not one here, but
No.
we can get one.
At that point, I'm just trying to use the mares we have here. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, we're
Yeah.
making plans for them. So I think, okay, we're just go with Beyonce and then just go from there. Ginger's good.
So we're going to breed Beyonce tomorrow afternoon and check Maggie. Probably give Maggie.
Ethel.
What? No,
Ethel.
I mean Ethel, sorry. Check Ethel and probably give Ethel a shot because Beyonce's getting a shot this afternoon.
Today, and then
Yeah.
give a shot at Ethel tomorrow.
We'll breed Beyonce tomorrow and give Ethel a shot.
Okay. Now Maggie could be a contender for that that embryo
Yeah.
if I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just find out how they like to do the
Okay.
shipping of the embryo.
I'll talk to her about that this afternoon.
I know Missouri, the ones that do it in Missouri, they'll send it thawed. The ones that do it, they'll send it frozen.
Yeah.
In Texas, Equi-Embryo sends it thawed out.
So that's a wrap for today's breeding. We bred Ginger and we checked Beyonce, and you know there was a little bit of a hiccup with the recips. That is why we have 2, and it worked out in our favor having Ethel on deck. So looks like Ethel will potentially be a recip for Beyonce. And so in part 2, which will be posted after this one, we will be breeding Beyonce and then actually heartbeat checking Erlene to see if her confirmed pregnancy has a heartbeat, just making sure that's all good. So stay tuned for that and let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Like, subscribe, those things help me out so much. And I'll see you in part 2.